Watch the clock.
All right, perfect. Welcome to Weekly Wisdom Live, brought to you by WOIII, Women of Impact and Innovation International, honoring wisdom while building the next generation of innovative women leaders. Each month, we'll be focusing on one topic, and each week, we'll be diving into different aspects of the topic. And this month's topic is women's health. And so I'm Courtney Moeller. My co host is the amazing Dr. Emily. And this week, we are really going to kind of dive into financial success and stress, dental health, and some of the mental health challenges that we face as women as we're navigating all of these different spaces in our lives. And so, thank y'all so much for joining us. We are really excited about kind of diving in and digging through these topics.
Good morning, Courtney. Good morning, everyone. This is such a pleasure and an honor to be joining all of you, monthly to talk about us. I think a lot of time as women, you may be married, you may have a partner, you always have your elderly parents, and then you have your kids, whether they're young or they're moving back home. We put so much on our plate that to take the time to talk about this and to share what each other do, I think it's a big part for us to grow and for us to stay grounded. And so I'm so happy to be here. Courtney, you mentioned financial success. And I just want to share real quick that a lot of time when I'm traveling, speaking, talking to my friends, there are a lot of us women who are successful. We have a career, we have a business, yet for some reason we're counting on our men to take care of the finances, right? And so many times people say, "Oh yeah, my husband does. My husband does that part. He does the accounting. He does the investment." And I think that it's time that we be more well-rounded, right? In the sense that we're gonna take that onto our into our hands and learn finally how to manage our finances. What do you think?
No, that's absolutely correct. And actually, statistically, women are better in, with finances than men are. But I think it's something for so long, we've just expected our men to do that. And as women have entered the workforce, we've struggled with this work life balance, this work home life balance. And we tend to be the ones that kind of fall on the wayside. I know I'm very guilty of making sure everybody else is taken care of. And then I neglect my own personal health. It kind of gets put on the back burner. And so the financial success, this is something that I've really started digging into and taking control of several years ago. I think, we go through life and we're taught that, we've got to get a job and make good grades and, go through these, battles where we are, obviously we want to do the best and be the best that we can. But, there's a lot of things that are just not taught the way there's a lot of financial education that's not taught. So wanting to really get educated in that space is something that I really dove into several years ago, and just kind of learning and navigating all of those different avenues and, what that looks like, and really taking control of that for my family so that I can build a legacy for my children. And so and there's so many different things out there. There's so many things to get involved with. And I think, and as a lot of my friends, we all are going through these different phases and stages of life. Some people have got younger kids, and some people have kids that are, they're empty nesters and they're trying to figure out what to do with their time. And we're just navigating all of these different phases. And so it's interesting how, this financial education and self-care and, balancing all of these different aspects, whether you are a working mom or a stay-at-home mom, there's still so much of a balancing act that goes into everything. And so I don't know which topic we want to dive into first. We've got a list of so many great ones.
Well, we'll stay on that financial success there for a moment.
Okay.
And I just want to say that all of us are great students, right? I mean,
Yes.
if you ever had a kid, there's so many women who go to the Lamar's class, right? We
Yeah.
we want to make sure we know and we learn and we do it right, and we somehow overlook this financial education. And I'll give you a perfect example. I would go to let's just say a real estate training seminar, right? And it's you can count the women on your hands, and the rest of them are all men. And I know that we all have money. I know that we all want to provide that peace and that support for our kids and our family, but for some reason we're not taking the time to learn, right? And I understand people can learn online, etc. It's not the same as actually paying for something, showing up to an event, learn it live, could ask Q&A and get your answer right then and there, or maybe sign up for something, because that's the same. That's what we do all the time for our kids, right? Look, we go back to school now, and then we sign up for a bunch of stuff for our kids, and then we're not signing up for things for us. And financial success, I believe, is everybody defines success a little bit differently.
Sure.
For me, a lot of time is peace, and finance is always part of that, attaining that peace process. So that's one of the things I want to remind everyone today is, take that learning journey, because we've all learned a lot, we're all very smart, we all know a lot. Just take that little piece that is missing or is not all fulfilled, and just go to your calendar and mark a time. Today I'm going to spend 30 minutes, go look for a seminar, a group, a mentor who can help me with this, and just fast track that for ourselves.
No, that you make such a great point with that. And I think it's really important when you figure out, okay, I need to focus on this or I need to work on this, and surrounding yourself with the people that are in that space, in that education space, really helps you to grow into that area as well. And so, and you're right, going to these seminars, whether it's financial or educate, whatever it is, there's something magical about getting in the room with people that are like-minded and are moving in that same direction. And it's one of my favorite things to meet people, hear their perspectives on things, and to be able to just kind of strategize and talk about things. And it just opens your mind up to so many other things that you just didn't know were out there. And so, definitely getting in that room. And it's funny, you're so right about that. A lot of people think, okay, yeah, when we look for our kids, how are we going to educate them? We get them into these classes and things like that. And it's just as important for us to do the same thing. And so that is absolutely one of the things that I look at is, okay, who are the leaders in this space? Where am I trying to go? What are my goals, and who's doing that? And who can I surround myself by to help me grow and, be the best person that I can be in that specific space?
Yeah, and we were talking right before the podcast here, and we touch on the topic of dental health. Sabrina was here with us, and she said she always look at people's teeth first. And I want to share something. I'm actually in Anaheim. I'm attending the California Dental Association convention. It's one of the biggest convention in the country, and and I'm also celebrating 30 years of my class reunion. UCLA class of 1993. And I would tell you, a lot of time when I'm working, I'm seeing families, and mom is the last person in, right? She makes sure, and then I can't tell you how many times I'm on the phone with a lady, and she's talking to her husband or spouse, or partner, and she's trying to make an appointment for him. And I'm over here saying, can you put him on the phone? Because why am I talking to two people? I ask you a question, you ask him, why doesn't he get on the phone? And it's because, again, going back to the beginning, when we say we just try to do everything ourselves, even when it comes to making the dental appointment. And I just want to mention that, it's not just your smile that create your confidence, that gives you that beauty. A lot of time, this mouth is that window into your systemic health. I'm involved in so many projects that we're looking at systemic health, your whole body, which is going back to self-care, right? And people say, oh yeah, let me worry about my mental health and all this stress, and sometimes they neglect actually going to the dentist, or same thing, could be going to the doctor, it could be getting your eye checked. It's these things about health um, that we need to do, and we make sure everybody else is taken care of. And then by the time it gets to us, we're too busy. Last night I picked up two friends from the airport, and the conversation was about colonoscopy, and how much everybody's dreading it. And it was just funny, but again, it has to do with health. And
No,
we
and
need.
I love that you're bringing up the dental health because I think a lot of people don't really, and this is something that I've just recently started learning about, is how much your overall health is really tied into your dental health. I don't think that people actually realize how critically important that is and how it can affect everything in your entire body if you don't have good dental health. And I'm obviously you're a dentist, you can speak to this way better than I can, but this is something that I've been learning about here recently.
Yes, yes, and it's also where, as a dentist, a lot of time when a patient come in, we can look in the mouth and we can pre-screen. Let's just put it that way, because there's certain signs in your mouth that that tells me, oh, you could be diabetic, right? Your immune system could be compromised. What's the same thing with the eye doctor when they measure your pressure, right? And they could tell you that, you know what, you have high blood pressure. I mean, I know they take your blood pressure, but when they check the pressure in the eye, that's also an indication. So all of this just point to us treating, the dentist treating you as a whole body, but how are you treating yourself, right? So, and when usually, if you're neglecting your dental health, you're probably neglecting other parts of your health, and all of that when it comes crashing down. Let's put it that way. It puts so much pressure and so much stress on us, and here we are trying to get rid of stress, right? and and, and sometimes there's these very basic things. Let's call it, and that we all know that we should do, but as you know, it's so easy to do, and it's also so easy not to do.
No, and I tell you what, this is something that is so impactful. Like I said, I've always kind of been put on the back burner. And I had a great conversation with Simon Bailey here recently, and he's a great speaker. And he said, he was really shifting the way that he was prioritizing the things in his life because, his wife at one point in time said, everybody else gets the best of you and we get what's left of you. And I just thought that was such an impactful, powerful statement because that was something that I have personally been guilty of too. And so one of the things that I have started doing this year is actually scheduling, before I schedule anything else, scheduling this time with my family and my children, and then scheduling these other important things that need to happen as far as self-care and dental appointments and all of these things that need to happen, and then filling in the rest of my life around it so that I can make sure that those priorities are happening. And that has really made a big difference for me this year. And I've done a couple of trips with my husband. My husband is scheduling trips specifically with our kids, and getting those things that need to happen on the calendar before it fills up with everything else, so that we're making it a priority and making it happen.
Yeah, and I just want to say another thing is sometimes people think about looking better and feeling better,
Mhm.
and you try to nourish your brain, right? And you try to give yourself that me time. A lot of people don't know, as we age and maybe our face fall in, and we don't look as beautiful as we used to because we lose some of that elasticity, right?
Oh.
Sometimes when you go and you visit your dentist, and you, like in California, we can't quite do that, but in other state, maybe you put some Botox in, right? And
They
get
do that at the dentist?
yeah, dentists can do, not in California. In California, dentists cannot
Okay.
do that, but it happens all, in a lot of other states. And again, this is about boosting that confidence
Mhm.
and helping you feel better about yourself. And
Mhm.
it could be, I don't want to say simple, but it could be little things like that. And I know a trip to the doctor to get Botox, it maybe 20 minutes, 30 minutes, right? Um, Visually, we look at ourselves, it affects how we feel.
Yeah.
So to try to control the emotions and feel good about ourselves without taking care of all the parts, right? um, Sometimes we're not doing ourselves great service. It's like my hair, right? My kids are all, Mom, your hair looks the same. You go to the hairdresser, you come back and your hair look the same. And I said, yes, but this is the hairstyle that I like, and this is most important, right? We checked it on Airbnb. I'm gonna check, just make sure the what is it, the head blower, you know, the hair dryer. I'm going to make sure that it's there because that's me. That's a part of me. So whatever is part of us as our image, and maybe we say, well, I'm not looking as good as whatever time. It's time to look at that and make sure that you can look and feel as good as you want to.
Sure. Sure. And making the time to make sure that you're taking care of that. Like I said, it's so easy to make sure that everybody else is taken care of and everybody else has their appointments and everybody's getting to what they do. And I'm guilty of that. And so, no, that's definitely something I've been shifting as well. And as far as that goes, I mean, even into the self-care, I mean, even just taking a few minutes in the day just to kind of sit and reflect, and meditation is something else that I've kind of incorporated into my morning routine, and, being thankful and grateful for, all of the things that I have, and just taking that time of just a few minutes just to kind of, gain some clarity for the day, it's had a really positive impact on my mindset for the day, and even thinking and reflecting on that at the end of the day. So I think it helps with sleep, because as I've gotten older, sleep is something that I have really struggled with. I don't sleep as well. And so really just kind of reflecting on the things that, I'm thankful for that happened during the day, and then kind of getting my mind right for the next day, really kind of helps make that day happen, and get your mind right, which mindset has a huge impact on everything you do.
Yeah, well, none of us is getting older.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it that you talk about sleep. So I recently met this company and they've been around for a long time, and it's called Newcarm, and it's an app that help. It has several. They call it journeys, but it can help calm you down, or it can help pump you up depending on which channel you choose. And it's listening to music, but it's a particular kind of music, or you could listen to the rain sound and all that.
Yeah.
And I appreciated that because I was traveling back from Wales, and maybe you have a short flight or a longer flight, and to be able to put yourself there, right? Like, I want to go to sleep now because I only have this 2 hours. So I need to knock out these 2 hours. Uh, it's use those tools, right?
Yeah. What did you say the
Yeah,
app was called?
it's called Newcom, NU, and then CALM.
All right.
Yeah,
I'll check.
and tell them that I send you over there because it was so funny. We were talking to the founder slash CEO, and he's been in the dental space for a while, so he knows some of these friends and some of my mentors, and some of them he doesn't like. So we were having this discussion, and I said, "How come you've been around?" And I don't know. Well, you're not doing good marketing enough, right? And I introduced him to my friend in Well, so he went there as a sponsor. So but here's the thing: a lot of times we have to be ready.
Mhm.
Like, we need to take care of now, right? And then you see that opportunity, that this thing that comes into your life, take that step. I think I would. We were talking, and because I had met him a couple months before, and I'm really done, which is to sign up to have the app. And I said, I'm going to try this. Maybe I'm going to make my kids do this because the kids in professional school, and they stressed out, right?
Mhm.
And 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 they use this in the military, to try to calm down the troop before a certain time. My thing is this: our life is full of gadgets, right? How many apps people have? How many apps are actually for you to take care of yourself? Look at your phone and see. I tell you, I have a lot of apps that is for business. This app and that app, and then you save on notes and whatever it is that the phone is for. But which app is it for you or for us that actually take care of us? And it goes to actually focusing on wanting to take care of us, since we're talking about women's health here, and then have your antenna up to make sure that you can utilize some of these to make it easier.
Yeah.
So what app is on your phone?
Well, I have 1,000 apps on my phone, and I actually have them divided into different categories. So I have,
Mhm.
a financial section, I have a health section, and it's funny because I've got meditation apps, I've got apps that have different oh, uh, I'm trying to think of what it's called, the different tones and frequencies have an impact on our lives as well. And so frequencies is something that I've been looking at. And am I frozen?
You look fine to me.
Okay. Okay, so frequencies are another thing that I've been looking at here recently. The different musics and sounds with different frequencies have different effects on our bodies as well. And so some are calming and relaxing, and some are, stimulating. But I never realized how much the frequencies and different musics and things like that have an effect on our bodies. And there's actually certain frequencies that have healing effects for us. So that's something that, when I'm just working and focusing, I will play, different sounds and frequencies in the background just to have it going while I'm just going throughout my day.
Yes, and like I said, we are all tech savvy. Most I'm gonna exclude myself from that. But to me, it's all about clarity. Having that clarity that, let's just say this month, Women's Health Month, already the 18th, we have half of the month through. Well, you got 12 more days to get some of this. Download whatever app. Take a look at the Carmelle app. Do something specific that is just for you, so you can take care of yourself, and you can go take care of the whole world. We're all doing that. And I think we were talking about before the show, block your schedule. In August, we're going to be hosting our women event in Pittsburgh, right? Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. It's a 3-day event. We're going to have a red carpet gala, and getting dressed up, that's also help your mental health, and you can hang out with your girlfriends. We have a red carpet gala, and then we have speakers, and we have leaders. We just time. That could be one thing you do at the end of the month. Block the time, your ticket, book your flight, your hotel, and self over there. This is different than if you have a young kid, or maybe the high school kid, and they're on a trip, and you just sign up to shop there to take care of them. Now this is you go take care of you.
No, and I think that's such a great point. At the end of the day, no matter what it is, I'm sitting here looking where, you've got action to win in the background, and really it's about taking action. So take a look at some of these different things and take action and do something. And absolutely, I'm so excited about the gala that's coming up in Pittsburgh. I'm looking forward to meeting everybody in person and being surrounded by amazing women that are making an impact.
It's like go find your tribe. Go find your tribe. Your tribe. You said be with people that surround yourself with the people that feel better, and you're doing great. It's not what we're looking for. We look for people who can cheer us up with, and then who can help pick us up when we win, right? And meaning they don't just show up. It's a good time. They're genuine, and then for you, meaning you, me, and people in the group, for us to be there for others also. Sometimes all people need is time, and I'm not talking about vampire. Always want to take away your time. I'm talking about the time where you know that if you give that person a little piece of your expertise, or and it's going to help that person. Yeah, yesterday morning I had a call book with a fellow dentist, and she said, I have an insurance audit. I have some questions. We got on the phone, and for a couple of times, and I told her, I'm looking suit. I've been through something like that. These are some of the things you might want to do. And I know that's going to save her so much headache, because when you know this is coming and you can prep for it, you can get a team together, the expert, the attorney, or the or whoever who can support you. That's half the battle. And it takes somebody who already have that knowledge, a little bit more than you, and they there for you. They just share that, and it can be that simple. And I know she's going to be so much better off than me years ago,
Yeah.
going through the same thing. Yeah.
Oh, that's so true. I think you're exactly right. Taking the time and making that happen and putting a priority on making time a priority.
Yeah, because giving will also make you feel good. And
Yes.
it's so good for your emotional health. It's so good for your mental health. When we give it, but when we're giving, obviously we have to give from a full cup. So we got to take care of ourselves first, and then I always advise, to give, whether you give your time, to give a little bit of your attention, to give your money, to give your sharing your connection. That those are all things that you can give, that you're not going to miss so much, right? Because if we prioritize time, we will find that we have some time.
Mhm. Absolutely, absolutely. And that's one of the things that I'm even trying to instill into my children as well. There's so many ways to give and so many it doesn't, some people aren't able to financially give and it doesn't have to be financial. Your time and your attention is just as valuable and sometimes that's what people need. And so I'm really trying to one of the things I'm just trying to show my kids whenever we get involved into giving our time and money and that sort of thing, showing them how important that is so that it's a priority to them as they're going through life as well. We've have this world and it's full of such incredible, amazing people. And just being able to give back and do things and pour into others absolutely is one of the best ways to help boost yourself and make you feel better. I mean, you're so right about that on how that impacts ourselves.
Yeah, I for me it's always about us. All of us want to set goals, right? We set goal for. We had a little discussion yesterday with my friends. Well, I wanted my kid to be a lawyer. I wanted my kid to be something. Like we even set goals for other people. That's just in our nature. All we're saying today is we need everybody to set the goal,
Yeah.
just one or maybe two things that you're actually going to do to take care of yourself. Could be as simple as simply, downloading this one app and using it. Like you said, it could be prioritizing the time, right? Like you and your husband planning time to travel with your kids, because we travel all the time. We're speaking here and we're attending this meeting, but to look at the kids' schedule and say, okay, when do you have time? Because that's when I'm going to be doing this. Uh, is a totally different experience, and I actually enjoy traveling with my kids because you forget the time.
Yes. No.
Yeah, because they distract you, so you forget the time.
Yes, and I think that is the perfect actionable item to take from this segment is to pick that one thing, find one thing and set a goal and take action into making it happen. Absolutely. I'm going to challenge everybody that's listening to do that.
Yeah, and you take on that challenge. Put a comment there so we know that you're taking on the challenge, and we
Yes.
will help keep you accountable.
Yes,
Yeah.
I love that. Yep, when you speak it out into the universe, you're more likely to make it happen. So write it down, put it somewhere where you're seeing it daily and thinking about it. And yes, and tell us so that we can check in and say, how's that going?
Well, I know you have some closing comment to let
I
everybody
do.
know that we want to time, and we want to make sure that you can all go and start your day and be successful and do what you want to do. So, and then we are expecting everyone to be there in Pittsburgh. I know Sabrina can post up a specific link later, so everybody can go and sign up.
Yes, yes, absolutely. I hope to see everybody there. And so thank you everybody so much for joining us today. We hope that today's, little nuggets of wisdom, have inspired you to take action to really create a greater life. Please put a reminder in your calendar so that you can join us. We do these calls every week at this time, and the call will be different each time. So, and if weekly is not enough and we have inspired you to take greater action, action and join us in our initiatives to impact the world, please visit the website at www.womenoiii.com, which is Women of Impact Innovation International. Research all the opportunities. We have lots of different ways that you can get involved, from VIP memberships to just different events and ambassador board positions. And we would love to have you. So we leave you. We hope you have a great week. We leave you with honor and gratitude. You are powerful.
Yes. And please have a wonderful day, and may the flock.